Greetings, Inquisitor. Welcome to the Holocron. This is the Week 84 update for the Darth Loquitur account. I update this account's progress every week, go through all my character upgrades, talk about plans for the future, and you can follow along. Please remember to use your like saber, hit that like button. It helps me, it helps the channel. It's free, it's fun to do. Alright, let's get into it and find out what happened with the account this week. Our relic target is Moff Gideon. We're taking a couple weeks to work on him. We'll take a quick look in here. We still have some pieces in both that second right-hand side piece as well as the finisher. Should be able to finish that out next week just fine. We'll go in here to our Executor Journey. That's our primary thing that we're working on right now. We got to get another character ready to relic when we're done with Moff Gideon. Boba Fett's going to be that target. I'm taking a look at the gear here, but decide in the end not to lock it down right away. We're going to take a look at some of these other characters in the journey as well. IG88 will go to gear 12, so now we have 2 more relic targets within this journey, so that's good. Dengar will get gear 10, so he's on his way. Getting in pretty good shape here. Still got the TIE Fighter pilot to bring up, but over the course of the next few weeks as we relic these other characters, we'll get him. We can get Piett to relic 8. That'll finish him out for the Executor Journey to the full relic level. And then here I'm just looking, and I've acquired 16 out of 20 droid brains. Probably want Admiral Piett eventually to relic 9. Once people start doing that in your fleet shard, you pretty much have to do it to keep up. So we still have another Zeta to put on Piett and finish him out, and then maybe he'll be the first relic 9 on our account for the Darth Loquitur. We'll see. IG2000 needs a little bit more work. We're going to go ahead and pump a few upgrades into this ship. See where that puts us. We're holding off on these final tiers. Just don't have that much shipbuilding materials in the bank. Only 1.16 million at this point. So we're just being careful with how we spend the shipbuilding materials right now. So taking a look through ships, seeing what else we got here. Xanadu Blood, also same kind of thing. We're just saving credits for now. We can also get an upgrade on Mara Jade. Remember, if you watch my streams for Grand Arena, there's been several battles now where I've been just short on speed, and I really want to be able to use this Vader Mara Jade counter for several different kinds of teams, but Mara Jade's just too slow. So we're going to try to get some gear onto her. We're going to lock down the rest of this gear just in hopes of getting a couple pieces locked down that might have a little extra speed and being able to get her just fast enough to be able to do stuff in the Grand Arena. Cara Dune, we're going to take her to gear 8 for now. Still working on her. Of course, we got to get the Beskar Armor Mando completed. Then I'm just going to go through here and work on a couple Ewoks. I'm going to bring up characters that I have extra shards on. Go ahead, activate like Baze Malbus, for example. I had just a ton of shards for Baze, so we're going to go ahead take him to 7 stars just to free those up for the shard shop. We'll activate Paplu here, get him started, position some skills on him, get him some levels, upgrade his gear. The typical stuff that we're doing just to try to position characters to be built later. Kind of like what I was doing to bloat my characters, but in this case we do want to circle back and get gas at some point. I have committed to purchasing Wampa, so I'm low on Get 1. So if we do swing back around and get General Skywalker, it'll be a long time on that project before we finally get him to 7 stars, but that's okay. If we can qualify for the unlock and get C-3PO, we'll go ahead and do that. Here we're just working on Ewok Elder. Again, might as well get these Ewoks up and running. We're close on having enough characters and enough stars in the Ewoks to be able to work through that event. So we'll get over to that sometime here in the near future. it frees us up to build a CLS team. Like I said, potentially go for gas. So there's a couple options there that we're looking at. So week 84, we blew it up last week to 4 million. And this week it's 4.04. We added about 40,000. Still 37 relics, 53 zetas. We didn't change that this week. JMK is getting top 10. Negotiators getting top 5. And the project is to get Moff Gideon to relic next week. The energy plan for next week is the same pattern that we've been doing. No real differences there. I engaged in a team restructure about 13 weeks back. Really wanted to try to get teams ready in case we got to Kyber, with the idea of developing more of these single relic teams potentially for defense. Progress on the Executor Journey was pretty good. We got 2 more characters at gear 12. That took away a lot of gear for any of this other restructuring that we might be doing. But we did get some gear on Mara Jade. Again, we just need speed on her to get more opportunities in GAC. And at that point, there wasn't a whole lot left over for other GACs, but we're going to talk about that a little bit too. So at low galactic power, we're close to getting Kyber, and there's this theory that we've been working on for punching up in GAC. And up until now, I've been rising through Grand Arena, mostly by placing a pretty solid defense. A bunch of teams that have just enough synergy, a relic character somewhere in them, that it makes it hard for the opponent to get through my defenses. And with the Galactic Legend, we've been able to post that up and get holds. Now we have 2 Galactic Legends. Kenobi has the ult, so we'll be able to put 2 Galactic Legends on defense. But what the problem is now, we've run into an area where frequently we're facing opponents that have a lot more galactic power than us, in some cases 2, 3 Galactic Legends. So it's becoming less and less of a solid strategy to place these defenses and try to weed the opponent out, because we're not fighting at fair GP anymore. So the opponents can just put down a ton of defenses. What I've faced quite a few times now, they'll put down a bunch of defenses that have like gear 12 Old Republic or something like that, the requirements that are left over after the Malak journey. And so I have to bring in something to beat that, and there's just tons of this stuff in the middle. So if I'm fighting a player that has, like, let's say 2 million galactic power or more above me, then their rosters are really so broad that we're running into some problems with being able to out-banner them on offense. So the question that I have to think about, I've gone heavy on defense, or reasonably heavy on defense, I feel like, for a while now. And placing the 2 GLs on defense sets the cornerstones that are hard to get through. And I've also been putting other good defenses across the front line, holding the zones, but also, even if they clear it, the teams that aren't the Galactic Legends, the idea is to give them very few banners, even for the teams that they can clear. And then all I have to do is be a little bit clever with my offense, work through a bit of their content, and we get wins. So the risk here, as I face opponents of higher and higher galactic power, is that if they keep a lot of stuff for offense, even if they place a halfway decent defense with all of their leftover, like, relics and gear 12 characters, I end up stuck in the same situation where I run out of offense. And so the defensive strategy can work. If I run out of offense too quickly, then we're stuck for banners. So fighting against these big rosters is difficult. If I went heavy offense instead, let's say I just put the 2 GLs on defense, put 1 in each front zone, and then just kind of throw off all of the other defenses. Then if my opponent has high GP and can counter those Galactic Legends, they're going to clear for very high efficiency. And it does exacerbate the issue with fleets. I won't have 6 fleets if I go to Kyber. I'm a long way off from 6 fleets. So having weaker fleets means I have to throw off on defense, if nothing else, to save for offense. So then if they break through the front wall, they get a bunch of easy wins on fleet, and it makes it very hard for me to win. So I'm not convinced that this offense strategy is going to work. So my thoughts are, unless I put down the strong defense, the ship issue is really a problem. It just gives my opponent too many banners for free, because I will have to take 3 good fleets on offense, which means all 3 fleets that I put on defense, if I get to Kyber, are going to be weak. So the current strategy's got me this far. I think that's an important thing to remember. When you're changing divisions, it's tempting to, because you need more teams, and most likely for people that are punching up, you already didn't have enough teams anyway. You were stretched thin, but you were still beating your opponents. And then you get into the next bracket, and you're still behind on characters. So that's the thing. I guess I just, in my own mind, I think, well, it's got me this far, so let's keep going with what we have. And we'll put 2 Galactic Legends, and we'll continue to put an assortment of decent defenses down to try to make that hard to deal with. But it does mean that I think the best option for my account now is then to work on the offensive teams as we go forward. I did have plans to work on some of the more defensive teams like Night Sisters and Resistance, but I think if I have defenses that are good enough to do what I need to do, then instead we need to work on offenses, get Mara Jade finished out, build a Wampa, take Zam to relic level. She's year 12 right now, so helps with the bounty hunters, but could definitely give them more of a kick in the pants if she was relic. Triumvirate, I feel like that's just such a good flexible team that works in 3s, it works in 5s. You can underman. It's fantastic on offense to take out just a huge variety of stuff at relic level. So maybe we look to relic that Triumvirate. Kyle Katarn, I think him with the Mon Mothma team for GAC is a pretty good deal, so we'll get him potentially relicked. Take a look at that CLS team. Again, if we're getting C-3PO here pretty soon. We've got a lot of the other components already worked through. Of course, we've got the Han, the Chewie, and they're lower gear, but they're there. We could finish out that Chupio and just do like a single relic CLS team for now. So there's quite a few offensive options, and of course I name off like 10 relics, but I really think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to build the Executor Journey, and then do some stabilization on these teams and get those things going before I go for the next Galactic Legend, which will likely be JML. So maybe we'll kind of work on these projects, passively work on gas. Try to get gas unlocked at some point, and then go into our next Galactic Legend build once we have a few more of these offensive tools in place. So that's the current thought process. That's what I'm looking at. So we'll see how that works out for our future planning. That's going to wrap up the Holocron for week 84 with the Darth Loquitur account. Thank you all for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Remember to hit that like saber if you haven't done that already. Subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more videos like this in the future. And of course, join us over on Discord. We have a great Discord community. There's not just me, but there's a bunch of other talented, high-level players over there that are willing to help people and answer questions and engage in discussions about team building and account building and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a great community. I hope to see you over there. The link for our Discord is in the description of the Holocron down below. Click that, join up, and I hope to see you over there. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next Holocron.